Alright, you guys, I'm gonna tell you some crazy ass stories. Just kidding. Okay. So, my book's really on alcohol and drugs. Like, I was absolutely insane on that stuff. Okay. So, I don't know if I was just like super sensitive to alcohol or what. Like, I never used to be. But then all of a sudden it was just like, it was like, all of a sudden alcohol made me crazy. Okay, so, okay, my first experience was like, I was really drunk. And I went driving. Now, I'm gonna share this too. It's like, I don't know how I survived this too, because I've made videos about that. Like, how did I survive? It's like an angel, Most High had to. I've had an angel help me. Because I was driving fast, okay? So I was driving a truck to go to the beer store, and I was out of town. So I was driving down a highway. And I was going like between 80 and 100 miles an hour. Like, I was fast, and I remember being all like cocky and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, this is so fun, like, and bam, I looked away for a second. I got distracted by something. I looked over, bam, straight into a pole. I went straight, going 80 to 100 miles an hour into a pole. Not a small pole, like one of those like big ass, like thick like tree trunk poles. And all of a sudden I was like like the pole was here and I was like way over there. Like I just spun and spun and then I'm there. And I was stuck in the grass, in the mud. It was all wet and stuff. And there was no one in sight because this was like an empty like highway. There was like no one around. It was like really like late in the morning, like maybe 12 or 1 a.m. or something like that. I don't know. And and I just started like rocking back and forth in his truck, and it actually just started coming up and went out, and I was like lucky, like, because I couldn't find my cell phone either and stuff, so it was crazy. So that's like crazy stuff. I would drive recklessly drunk and like crazy. Okay, anyways, and then when I started getting more heavily into drugs and alcohol, I became more lawless. Like, I want to share my story of being lawless, meaning like I curse a lot more, and just like me and my partner would fight physically all the time. Cops would be called, we'd be sent to cells overnight, and then things got even worse than that. It was like I was like suicidal and stuff, and I was like taking knives out and cutting myself. Like, I got like rank, like, I don't know if you can see, rank scars, like, and I got a big scar on my leg, and like one time I was over at these people's houses. Now, man, I tell you too, like, other people who do drugs and stuff like that, like, it's like you're really demonically influenced when you're doing stuff like that, okay? There's no way around it. There's other spirits that like leap into your body and do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like, okay, so like I remember it was so dark, like everything would always be dark and heavy because you're like in a different kind of like state of being, a different realm per se. Your perception is way different. Like, okay, so put it that way. I was at my friend's house. Well, my so-called friend. We weren't really like, we're just drug buddies. Alcohol and drug buddies. And her and her boyfriend had just moved into this place, and it was a basement suite or whatever, and it was actually located very close to where my son and his father lived. But we were down there, and we were shooting up meth, and like meth is really bad, you guys. It's like all drugs are really bad, but meth is really bad. Like, I don't know, there's something about that drug that's just wicked, but even more wicked than the other ones. Like, it definitely takes you to a whole nother like realm, like, that's not good. Okay, anyways, so we were doing that, and I remember I was like getting all tripped out, like, because I saw like on like her tablet or phone, like, I swear she was like talking to my boyfriend, but I always like like my boyfriend's always cheating on me with all these people and stuff, and like, and so I was like, are you doing this stuff? And she's like, no, no, no. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm not even kidding you, in the most evilest way, she comes behind me, and this is like, she's like starting, like, wanting to start a fight, because when I was like that, I was like, my temper was like that, so it would be like, I've had scraps with a few people, even in dangerous situations, even my own drug dealer, which is kind of dangerous, do that kind of stuff. But anyways, like, she goes behind me and she whispers in my ear. She's taunting me, basically saying, yeah, I do this with your man, this and that. And it was like, I'm not know for sure if it's true or not. I have no idea, but I just wish she was just taunting me. But she was all messed up too, and it was just like, it was like, it wasn't her, right? I heard, like, it was like a devil or a demon just trying to, like, taunt. And I lost it. We started scrapping around and fighting and all kinds of stuff. And she's screaming because I'm just at top of her, just we're punching her and stuff. And she's screaming at her boyfriend to come and help or whatever. And next thing you know, this guy curb stomps me big time. Like, he's a man, right? I'm a woman, and he's got these big, like, boot thing legs on. I don't know if they're like steel toe boots, like these big boots, shoe-like things that he's wearing. And he stomps me on my temple, like, stomp me, and then they're all looking at me, like, all, like, in shock and in horror, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, can you get boot stomps in the temple like that, with that much force? And you should have seen my face was out to here, and I looked, like, distorted, like, I did not look human, like, it was all, like, people die like that. And again, that's what I'm saying, like, Yahuwah or God Almighty is merciful, man. Like, oh, my face was black and blue. Like, it was all gray. Like, this whole part of my face. Like, I have pictures. I wish I could know how to put them on to show you, and maybe I can sometime, of it. And my son saw it, and he's like, "Oh, you look like an alien." But my face, yeah, I went to the hospital and everything like that, and I had a skull fracture. So basically, like, pieces of my skull were like in pieces, and then my, like, eyeball, like a part of my, like, eyeball was, like, stuck in the fragments and stuff. But what I'm saying is, God is amazing. Like, I can't even, like, fathom. But, not saying that there wasn't there. Like, I've had too many blows. I was curb stomped by my boyfriend when we were fighting. I speak of like this, like, as if it's just, like, exciting. No, I'm just, I don't know. Like, I'm just sharing, because that's old. That's past. Like, I've been sober for 5 years. So, that's tough. But anyways, so he curb stomped me, and the way that my neck went, it caused like a weird feeling with my neck. And so I have, like, these, like, neck things, and my brain, like, and I've been, like, experiencing stuff which really kind of only started in the beginning of 2022, maybe near the end of 2021, where I've kind of been having these episodes where it's like, I know it's like a neurological, like, type of thing, kind of on the lines of, like, a temporal lobe, like, epileptic type of thing. And it's been really, I've been suffering with this in silence by myself, and just doing more research on it. But at the same time, you guys, there are spiritual experiences with it. So when I read in the Bible about Daniel's visions, I just read this last night after I was reading up on temporal lobe epilepsy. It's very interesting. The way that Daniel had his visions explains exactly what these people with frontal lobe epilepsy go through. And almost always, these people have spiritual experiences. There's a part in the brain that is actually this guy, the science guy or whatever, was saying that there's parts of the brain that are actually linked to what they call religiosity, but like spiritual experiences. So you're telling me that we have a part of our brain that links us to the spiritual, to the connection to religious experiences with God and Yahuwah and all that kind of stuff. And that so many of you deny God. Like, it was a place right in our brain, for Pete's sake, to be able to have that link. Anyways, so, you know, like, so me being someone who is, sorry, something's in the way there, a believer of the Most High Yahuwah, and how this thing just kind of came out of nowhere, because I wasn't having them before. Even all those blows to my head and stuff, like, I didn't have that before until just recently. So, and nothing was going on, right? Like, I had this very, very crazy experience. And I remember waking up and feeling like my head just hurt so bad, like as if I fell down or something, or hit my head on something. But during this experience, it was like I was in some sort of thing. I was like in some sort of thing. I don't know, some sort of container or something like that. And it felt like a dream at first, you know, I'm banging on this thing. My body I shot out of my body. And I saw these two beings, but like, again, like I've made videos about that. I had some big life review thing and this and that, and like, I still pray to the Most High about that specific one, because I don't remember every single thing. So, anyways, so like, back in 2018, I did start having deja vus, and that can be part of prefrontal cortex epilepsies. But like, deja vus, like, I've done all these things before. And it got so intense over the years, whereas like, I've lived my whole life before. I've lived all this before. Like, I'm telling you, that's exactly what it feels like. It's like, oh, I've lived my whole life. I've done this before, right? And I've even, not always though, but because some of them have been wrong. So I've been having this like almost like an open vision, where it's like you see something in your, like, images in your mind that like that something's going to happen. And then I've had that, and then something did happen, like, that I saw in my mind. But I've also seen things in my mind that didn't happen. So again, if you're looking at it at a spiritual thing, it's like, okay, the things that didn't happen was just like, they were more rooted in fear, which I feel like comes from like Hasitan, the enemy or whatever. So, you guys. Anyways, but I'm telling you that I've had all these experiences. Like, I was in the hospital when I was doing drugs and alcohol, and I had taken so much drugs, so much alcohol, and then I popped a whole bunch of pills, and my partner called the ambulance. We went to the ambulance, and I had this experience where I was coming out of my body, and I heard the machine like flatline. I'm still to this day, I'm not quite sure if I flatlined or not, but I know that it flatlined twice. I was looking at it, and I was like, felt like I was coming out of my body. So I take it as like, did I die or something, or like slightly, or was the machine just having issues? I don't know. I was all messed up, right? So I have no idea, really. I mean, I thought I died. I don't know. But anyways, but that experience where I shot out of my body and had that whole life review, that like, that felt surreal. Like, I mean, that felt like crazy. That was like very intense. I'd also like experienced like living in another time, like with my first son when he was like 3 years old, but like in a whole nother scenario that I've never lived before, and like staying there for a long time. Like, I literally felt like I was there for about a week. And who can spend like almost a week somewhere in their dream. You know what I mean? Like, it was very crazy. And that happened, like, it's really hard to decipher what time around that was. I think it was in 2021, near the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022. I can't even know the time of it. It's so strange. So strange. But yeah. You guys are thinking of a complete loony ball. Hey, buddy, you know what? If someone's a loony and they ain't harming everybody, then, or not harming themselves or anybody, then okay, just leave them alone. But if anything, it just gives me a closer relationship with my creator. So, and it makes me want to love people more and more and more. You know, like, just what it is. It's just how it is. I'm pretty sure who already knows that. So, I'm gonna share that. Yipperoonies. Just trying to think if there was another time. Oh yeah, I got into a car crash with so many crazy things. Like, I got in a car crash with my ex and my stepdad, and that was a whole nother like crazy thing because that happened so fast. And I'm like, I don't know, like that car hit us pretty good to make us go from here to there, way over there. We all survived. I remember my head was just ringing because, again, my neck and my head were messed up after that. Like, I don't know how many times, you guys, that my neck and my head throughout my life, you guys, have been hit. Like, I've been hit in the head with a hockey puck. I've been hit in the head with football, baseball. Like, I was trying to do, like, one of those things where you go reach back over like this when you're younger and touch the ground, like you bend your back. And I slipped, my hand slipped, and my head, the top of my head, my neck just got all crunched and hit really hard on the cement basement floor. That caused like a crackly noise in my, wonder my neck is like spine. But what I'm saying is, like, I had all these crazy things happen to me all throughout my life, and mainly to my neck and my head and stuff like that. And it's just crazy, yeah. It's just crazy, you guys. I'm weird like that, eh? I do weird things like that. I used to squish my nose too. Be talking to people and be like, why are you squishing your nose? I don't know. So I think that's all I'm gonna talk about. I love you guys. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.